Hi, welcome to the Toyota Way Academy. I'm Jeff Leiker, professor at University of Michigan. I've been at the University of Michigan here in Ann Arbor for over 30 years, came in 1982. Immediately began trying to understand why Japanese auto manufacturers were so much better than American auto manufacturers in quality, less inventory, more productivity. And that led me to trying to understand really what made Toyota so much better than even the best Japanese companies. That journey, including a lot of consulting, working with companies like Ford Motor Company when they began developing the Ford production system modeled after the Toyota production system, led to a book in 2004, The Toyota Way. Since then, I've written a bunch of other books about Toyota with different colleagues. One of those colleagues is Jim France, who I met when he was working at Ford. Jim, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself?
Okay. My name is Jim France. I started out in factories about 28 years ago. My work has taken me around the world. I lived for a while in Japan as I worked for Toyota as a young production engineer. Came back to the U.S., spent some time working at Ford where I met Jeff. And about 10 years or so ago, I left the industry and went to work for Jeff as one of his consultants. And then in 2008, we formed the Toyota Way Academy.
The reason we put together the Toyota Way Academy was to have a place on the internet where we could inform about the real principles, the true Toyota Way. What I had found in my research and also in working with lots of other companies were a lot of misunderstandings, and mainly people were confusing the principles, the reasons why you might do something for the tools that they saw Toyota using most often in their factories. For example, they would see an andon where somebody's pulling a cord and a light goes on, and they would think if we want to be like Toyota, then we need to have a light that goes on. They didn't understand the reason for the light to go on was to call attention to problems and to continuously improve. We wanted to take what was in the book that explained that a step further and turn that into various kinds of training courses we would offer live and also put information on the website. Back at that time, our vision of information was pretty static. It was things like a PowerPoint presentation, or we thought we might want to have a webinar where we were conveying some information to you. Since then, we have learned about the internet like other people and realized that, for one thing, video is a lot more powerful than static pictures like PowerPoint. And also you can actually use the internet for teaching real skills. In the Toyota Way, what you learn is that real skills can only be learned at the Gemba, that's where the work is being done, by actually doing, not simply listening to Jim and I talk. So we struggled with how can we create a set of online courses in small bite-sized pieces that teach, say, a tool, teach the reasons behind the tools, and give you an opportunity to practice. And we think we have some good ideas for doing that. We see this as a continuous improvement process where we'll start with a basic module, we'll refine it, getting a lot of feedback, watching people use it, and as we add modules, we'll be improving and improving our ability to use the internet, along with some coaching that we can do through the internet. And our goal is to teach actual skills through these online programs.
Yeah, and these online courses we're developing will include some aspect watching a video and then immediately going out and applying what you've learned. We want to go much further and deeper, learning, experimenting, and growing by immediately applying what it was you've just learned. We're not just interested in this one-way communication. We want you to gain experience by doing. And wherever your Gemba is, whether you're a manufacturing firm, a services company, a bank, a hospital, it doesn't matter because this applies in your world. And on the site, you'll find a lot of opportunities to broaden your understanding of these great tools you can find within the Lean Toolbox. As long as you understand straight away that tools are simply countermeasures to problems that you're having and can serve as a springboard to help you reach higher levels of achievement, whatever it is you're doing.
It would be nice if there was a very simple cause and effect relationship between a problem, a tool. For example, one of the tools is Kanban. A Kanban is a way of creating a pull, so you pull whatever materials you need when you need them. And it would be nice if we could implement Kanban, fix a problem of not having all the materials or tools that we need, and suddenly all our problems are solved forever, and we don't have to adjust or change that Kanban system. We all know that's not the way the real world works. It's very dynamic. Materials are changing. Kanban that used to be manual and cards are now at Toyota electronic. And there's constant changes in demand, and you're adding new products, and therefore you really need the skills not for implementing Kanban, not for implementing Andon, but for learning continuous improvement. And that's really what we want to focus on. In Toyota's version of the Toyota Way, they simply have two pillars. It's real simple. It drives the whole company. You respect people, and you teach them how to continuously improve. So respect for people and continuous improvement are the only two pillars. And Toyota believes that if they have well-developed people who know how to continuously improve, they can conquer any challenge that the environment throws at them. And they've had plenty of challenges, from recalls to tsunamis to flooding, and they've been able to overcome all those challenges and also keep up and beat the competition in a lot of their vehicles through innovation. The process for innovation, as we're going to teach it, is through continuous improvement. It's not one big step function, brilliant individual that's sitting in a room and comes up with an idea and suddenly create a company around that idea. We're going to be teaching that we need a continual set of defined challenges based on our company's strategy, and then we need to achieve those challenges through a lot of trial and error. In the language of Dr. Deming, that's plan, do, check, act, which is the scientific method. You have an idea for what you think is going to improve. You try it, you do something, you check the experiment to see what happened and what you've learned, and then you define further actions to standardize what worked and to decide what your next experiment is going to look like. This process of PDCA, which seems very obvious and intuitive, and people learn it all the time in labs in, say, biology in high school, is actually not very intuitive, or at least it's not used a lot in practice. And both Jim and I spend a lot of time in companies, and I don't know, how often do you see, Jim, people running experiments deliberately and learning from them?
Rare to never.
Rare to never. So on a 5-point scale, that's toward the bottom.
Yeah.
That's
a little above zero.
A little above zero, okay. And it's not because people are idiots or because they're lazy. It's actually because that kind of rigorous thinking and doing and deliberate learning takes a lot of brain cells. It takes a lot of neural activity that research actually shows is not comfortable for us.
Yeah, and really the drive is it doesn't need to be natural, but it does need to be a habit. And that's really what we're going to be striving for, is to make it a habit.
And and people have developed habits of work, and that's how you got to where you are. And where you are may be working for you and may be pretty good, but we're not interested in pretty good. We're interested in excellent, exceptional, way beyond your competition, like Toyota was way beyond their competition when we started this 30 years ago.
We are very pleased that you're here, and we're eager to get started on our journey together. And it's going to be a great ride.
And don't worry, your old friend Mal will keep you headed in the right direction, despite what these yahoos say.
Jim, what is that voice?
Yeah, that's Mal 9001. That's Mal.
Mal.
Yes, Mal. Yeah, okay.
And you invited Mal and you didn't tell me about this?
I actually did not invite Mal. Mal kind of invited himself. See, Mal is the ultimate lean deployment algorithm. He was developed by one of these big box consulting firms, and I was kind of swapping videos with one of their guys. He's an old friend, and Mal kind of came along for the ride.
And what is the purpose of Mal?
Well, Mal is the ultimate in machine thinking. So all you have to do is everything he tells you, and you can magically get lean.
Is that what we're trying to teach in our?
No, absolutely not. But that's the premise under which he was built, and is he IT? Okay, so what? Oh, great. Okay.
I don't even want to answer that. That's not even worth responding to. Can we just get rid of Mal?
Well, I loaded in some antivirus software that the IT guys said would take care of him, and it'd be no big deal.
Okay, so we had a division of labor, Jimmy.
That antivirus software was delicious, but I'm still hungry. Can you load some more?
You can't do anything about it.
I'm working on it.
Okay, well, let me know when you've worked on it. And you've got
Okay,
it
so
solved.
it's not total. It's totally under control.
Nothing here to see, just a kill out me, trying to cut some teeth, trying to figure it out. Nothing better to do when I'm stuck on you. I'm here trying to figure it out. Getting hard to sleep, blood is in my dreams, love is killing me, trying to figure it out. Nothing better to do when I'm stuck on you. I'm still in here trying to figure it out. I let it go, 'cause I won't see you later on, we're not allowed to talk it out. I said I'd go, put myself on a show, but I'm still trying to figure it out. I broke my shoe, take the fan on you, but you didn't know I planned it out. I said I'd go, yeah, I won't see you later on, we're not allowed to figure it out.
Hey, Jimmy boy. What's shaking? How's that antivirus thing coming?
Well, apparently not as well as we'd hoped. So call IT again.
Don't feel bad. Hey, is that mocha? That smells great.
Yeah. Wait a minute. You can smell?
Of course. Can't every 8 yottabyte program?
Okay. Bet you wish you had hands.
Yeah. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Okay. Bizarre. Back to Mel.
Bet you wish you had a credit score higher than 500, like you do now.
Got to do something about that guy. IT!